Good day, ladies and gents. This is the Ecclesiarch here, back to you with some more Warpforge, and today we're going to be playing some Tyranids, and more specifically, we're going to be giving the Neurothrope a go. Now, Neurothrope, I think, ever since it got its big change, it has actually been pretty solid, at least, because running the Norn Emissary build on Neurothrope has become way more reliable. By the big change that I'm saying is Neurothrope itself getting synapse, right? So one of the things about this Warlord is that it's the only one that comes with a passive synapse ability, which means that it is no longer dependent on having other troops on the board in order to trigger the synapse. Now, not only did this change make a lot of sense, but at the same time, it was very necessary because Neurothrope really did struggle. Yeah, mostly people still played it with the Norn Emissary builds, but it wasn't really that good. But ever since they made the change, it was pretty nice. So now it's a solid control Warlord with that nice 1 energy health buff. And with the synapse, it can obviously start triggering like the Norn Emissary ticks from turn 1. And for anybody who doesn't know, Norn Emissary is basically this huge Tyranid unit for 14 energy, and it gets cheaper by 2 every single time you trigger a synapse. The only downside to this is that it has to be in your hand, right? Now, normally, you could not mostly trigger this on turn 1, unless you had a Neuroloid or something like that, but now with Neurothrope, you can just, start taking those cost reductions turn 1. But that also does mean that you will have to try to mulligan for Norn Emissary as much as possible so that this does start in your hand. Now, unlike the other Tyranids, this guy doesn't really have to run a lot of low-cost units because, again, it comes with its own synapse, and thus it does not really need to include other small ones like Neurogons or Neurogont Node Beasts. The problem with this guy has always been that Swarmlord kind of manages to overshadow it in the competitive scene, I guess, but otherwise, I think this is a very solid Warlord that can be really fun if you enjoy a bit of control. Now, considering that you have inbuilt synapse, there's a couple of buffs that we are running here. So that would be Adrenal Surge for that extra attack, which can be really good to either finish off your opponent with a board-wide buff, well, not a board-wide, but, a buff for your Warlord and your troops, as well as it can help you take out some pesky things when you don't have enough damage. There's, of course, the Enhanced Organism, which is really going to help you get a bit stronger whenever you really need to get that extra HP, or just buff your troops into unkillability. So that also works. There's obviously the Encircle the Prey double copy. Now, this does not affect your Warlord. However, it's still a mandatory thing to run because you can really not play Tyranids without this card. It's one of their best and most powerful cards, and kind of their win condition. It can be used for many things, to make a Norn Emissary invisible, to grow your Genestealers into basically a one-shot, and, overall even make multiple units invisible, which can set up for a lethal. Encircle the Prey also comes with the Predator Instincts, card that I almost never use on Swarmlord, but I think on this guy it's going to be really good because it's really going to help you with the Norn Emissaries once again to instantly have them do something with the huge damage that they have and the blast. And we also are running 1 Venomthrope to have a little bit of combo with that as well. 1 copy of Ambush Predator. Now, this can actually target your Warlord as well. So not only can this make your Tyranid units more harder to remove, but it can also make your Warlord untargetable for burst damage, which could be really, really good. Obviously, we're running the Gargoyles and Genestealers, 2 cards that are in every single Tyranid deck, mostly because Gargoyles are your flanking option, while the Genestealers are just hell of an annoying target to deal with, unless your opponent has anti-stealth. Apex Predator is there ever since the buff. This has been a very good card for Neuro, because not only is it going to trigger the Synapse, it's also going to give you invulnerability and high range damage, which is pretty important for either clearing or finishers. We do have Biomorphologies, just to buff our big boys. We got the Tyranid Prime, mostly because of the high stats, nothing else really. The only real reason you include this guy is because it's like a bloated stats at this point. I mean, it also has a synapse, but you don't really need a synapse with this, and the only thing that the swarm combo really triggers with is the Gargoyle and the Genestealer, and so it's not giving you as much value as it would on, let's say, Tervagon or Swarmlord, but the stats are just so good that you really want to just include that. Ravenous Hunger, obviously, is our third legendary of choice, because this is basically a Bloodthirst effect that you can also use as a on a Warlord to trigger Synapse and give like adjacent stuff Bloodthirst. We can just end up one-shotting your opponent. And we also have the Broodlord, obviously, for that double Synapse effect, which is really good. And this thing in general is an extremely big threat for any opponent, because if it stays alive, you can end up getting some huge buffs like double Adrenal Surge and stuff like that. Otherwise, we are including the Zoanthropes, we are including the Tyrant Guard. Now, Tyrant Guard and Lich Guard have been something that I started revisiting lately, mostly because after the nerf to the Squig Buggy, we don't have as many flanking high range damage units running around, which actually made these two units much better. Of course, there are still things like the Sisters Flankers, there's like the Gargoyles, there's the Dark Angels, but nevertheless, it has been much less due to the Squig Buggy, and plus with the addition of Emperor's Children, who mostly have melee flankers, it can be a very good addition to your deck. There's the Hive Crone, which I always really like because of that tempo swing that it has due to the rally 3 damage, and there's of course the Rapacious Hunger for healing. Now, obviously, if you also wish, there are a couple of things that you could consider for your deck, I think. You could, for example, consider Hardened Biology to really build a strong Genestealer, but I think that it's not that good because you're currently not running low drops, so Hardened Biology kind of seems like a wasted spot to me. You could go for, obviously, the Carnifex. I just think that the Carnifex is way better on Swarmlord, because not only does the Swarmlord increase its health, but it also increases its damage, which makes it formidable. However, you could consider a Psychophage if you don't like Tyrant Guard or Zoanthrope. That is one option that you can definitely consider there. There is also an option to include the Neurotyrant, which can be a pretty good substitution for one Hive Crone if you wanna. I don't know if how I feel about that. It could be really good to give you some powerful Synapse combos. One thing that you can really do with the Neurotyrant, if you want, you can get a Neurotyrant and you can also play an Infestation node, and that could lead to some very funny situations. But yeah, I'll leave that up to you. There's also Screamer Killers that you can include, which could be pretty good. You could also consider obviously having a Hive Tyrant or a Winged Tyrant, but I don't really see much point in that. Hive Tyrant is just pretty fun. I kind of like the card. There's also like stuff like the Exocrine, which gives invulnerability, vulnerability. There's the Malceptor with the Synapse. So there are some very nice options, but overall I think this kind of looks like the most balanced version, with a couple of things that you can just play around with. So without further ado, let's just jump in and play a couple of games. I think that the plus side of the Neurothrope is that obviously as a Tyranid, it has access to some very powerful units and a defense card that can help you play those powerful units very early on. So that's one plus that it has. It's an inbuilt Synapse. Does have a terrifying late game with the Norn Emissaries, but the problem is, of course, that it has a weaker early game and it's not the most durable of the Warlords. Okay, so now we have a Broodlord, Ravenous Hunter, and Tyranid Prime in our hands. So the thing is, both of these cards are really good, but I'm going to be replacing them to find a Norn Emissary. I'm going to keep a Tyranid Prime because it's going to be important to drop that early. I could honestly go for Void Combat. It could be pretty funny, because every single time I heal one, I could strike Azrael as well. I think actually I'm going to go for Void Combat, because Azrael is not going to be using his ability as much. And this way, my ability kind of gives me double value. For example, I can use it to attack him and deal 2 damage, or heal and deal 1 damage. Obviously, I'm gonna go for the healing, because this way I increase my health while also damaging Azrael. Now, this is a little bit of a weird thing. I do not know if I should be playing aggressive against him, because Azrael has a very strong late game, but again, in the same sense, so do we. So it's questionable. Also got the Enhanced Organism. No use spamming these things, however, since I do not have the Norn Emissary in my hand. Ooh, Wages of Retribution. Now, Wages of Retribution is a really powerful thing. The good part, however, about this is that I don't necessarily have a lot of troops that I'm gonna be feeding to him. In most cases, I have like large troops that get very stronger and stronger. I don't have a lot of troops that just feed his wages. Like if I were playing Necrons, like Nemesor, for example, it would be a problem. But no, I think it's fine.
Echoes through me.
Oh, that's a nasty way to do it. Okay. So, how do we want to do this is the question. There's a couple of things that we could do, but we need that thing to go for sure. So, I think what we do is we drop this, take this out, and I could also technically heal and hope that it hits the Sergeant Taman. But if it doesn't, it's gonna be a huge loss of value, so I'm not gonna risk. Now, technically speaking, if RNG was, if RNG gods were merciful, I could also heal this, and he wouldn't even be able to take this out, and it would be a huge play. But again, it's a risk. Oh, that's interesting. He still can't take it out, can he? Oh, he's got the defense turret. Okay, fair enough. That works. It's good to see that he... Oh, okay, he's got Inner Circle. Smart, smart. Okay. So do I just play the Broodlord here? I think I just play the Broodlord here. And what we do is we hope that he does not have his anti-stealth already in hand. He's got only 3 cards currently, so there's not a high chance that he does, but... Okay, that's good. That's good. We'll take that. We'll take that trade any day. Okay. So, what do we do here? Is my question right now. So, I think there's a couple of things that we can do, and I think one of the things is definitely playing the Zoanthrope and doing this. Okay, I got inhumanly lucky here with that ping. One of those Terminators should have definitely stayed alive, but I'll take it. Okay, we got the Death Knight here, Dread Knight, sorry, and for some reason it goes my face. Weird ass move there. I kind of don't get the whole idea. Wasn't this supposed to take this out because it's a legendary? I kind of get really confused about this overall. But anyway, let me see what I can do here. I could play a Gargoyle, but I think I'll keep the Gargoyle. Instead, let's play a Venomthrope. Let's buff. Let's do this. Okay, that takes it out. It's perfect. And we pass. Once again. Now we got a very powerful board. Very, very powerful board. Because not only do we have like 2 very high value units, there's also this guy here, which kind of messes up his game, because whatever he plays, the Venomthrope is just gonna annihilate. And yet, he has to keep attacking the Broodlord, because unless he attacks the Broodlord, it's gonna keep giving him, it's gonna keep giving me, like, huge buffs. And then he leaves the Venomthrope alive, so, yeah. Profit. So I could do this a few ways. I could do Rapacious Hunger. This could be a very good Rapacious Hunger turn, not gonna lie. Okay, let me actually do that. I just realized that my Venomthrope my, not Venomthrope, sorry, my Zoanthrope placement isn't the best. Should I just... Nah, let's keep that. Now, the biggest thing he plays here is either Samael or, oh, okay. That also works, I guess. Crap, that's not good. That's no good at all. I was gonna say the biggest thing he plays here is either Samael or the Nightmaster, but I forgot that he actually plays Wages, so that means that he's gonna be getting some secrets as well. So, considering I'm on a bit of a time bomb here, could have been a good idea to... Okay, that works. Could have been a good idea to actually all-in him last turn. Okay, that's fine. It's absolutely fine. Yeah, has to attack that. Ooh, we got a very nasty turn coming. We got the nastiest turn coming here. I'm certainly doing this. Yep, and I think we actually have him now. Yeah, he's done. He be done, boys. He be done. And we even have more damage to add. 1 damage plus a potential one from Zoanthrope. Okay. So basically that Broodlord that he wasn't able to take out really did win us the game. You know, the thing about that, one thing about that that I really... Why is this bugged, by the way? That I really like about Tyranids is that they have multiple win conditions. So we never really drew our Norn Emissary, but as you can see, we didn't really need it. Now, this is a problem matchup. This is a huge problem matchup. And let me explain why this is a problem. Because Asmodai is actually the one... I can't really actually use Void Combat against him, by the way. It's gonna benefit him a lot. Asmodai is an issue because he is the one putting me on a time bomb. Because his late game is abnormally strong. So I have to actually attack him face here. That's why I left the Genestealer and the Venomthrope both in my hand. Not only are they good drops, but there's not really much use fishing for my Norn Emissaries, because Asmodai's late game is almost unbeatable because of his secrets, and the amount that he can spam is a lot. So the way you fight Asmodai is mostly by finishing him off as early as possible, right? And we'll see if we're gonna be able to do that. We're gonna find out if it's gonna be possible for us. Usually I don't like playing against Asmodai. Mostly it's not only that he's like very RNG, but it's really a Warlord that always has you on a time bomb. Like almost no matter what you're playing, you are forced to kind of bash him and play aggro, because otherwise he just takes you out. Okay, alright. I think this actually is pretty okay, because what we can do is this, then we drop another one and we heal. Now, the reason this is good is that he can't take it out with his Master of Repentance, so he does have to make an attack. And every time Asmodai has to make an attack, it's kind of good, because it means that he's not using his agenda, so his secret generation is slowing down. Now, worst thing that can happen is he plays Wages, and then it becomes very hard to manage, because he basically gets almost double secret generation, which becomes very, very hard to contain. Well, let's see what he does here. This is the same thing. Okay, that makes sense. He goes face. Alrighty, in this case, I think this is how we do it. We smack here, we smash this, we drop another Genestealer, and this time let's do Enhanced Organism, right? This way, this is harder to kill, and this also has high HP. So if he drops the anti-stealth, my board doesn't get wiped. Okay, that works, I guess. He's gonna get a lot of value, but we'll take it. Next turn we have our Zoanthrope, which is really good. And he's gonna do an agenda. Now, we're already at the stage of the game where kinda a lot is gonna depend on how lucky he gets. Okay, I like that we finally got a Norn Emissary. That is very good. Let's see where this goes. Okay, it went into the right place. And we're gonna keep the Genestealer. We're not gonna attack with it. Let's try to threaten him with a strong board. If he already, like, we're already in the stage of the game where he might draw, convoke the circles or shit like that, which can really swing the game. That's why Norn Emissary, even though we drew it, might not be as impactful as it could be, because he might just play No One Must Know, and he might just smack it with that. So we'll see what he does. If he already is holding one and he plays it on the Zoanthrope though, that might be a huge value boost for me, because then he doesn't have it for Norn Emissary, but... Okay, he does the healing, interesting. And does Master of Repentance, obviously on the Zoanthrope. That's what you need to target there. And what's next? Nothing. Okay, that's good. Yes, please. Play nothing. Please. Okay. Oh. What now? 10, 16, 20. So not enough to outright destroy him. But kind of gives me an idea, actually. What's the right way to do this? I think this is one thing that we definitely do. Then we do this, and we do this, I guess. We use the Norn to take this out, and then we attack the bad boy here. Not the Norn, sorry, the Zoanthrope. Usually 7 energies when they tend to draw their Convoke. I don't know why it happens like that, but it happens a lot during that turn. Well, let's see what he does here. He could also play Deadly Hunters. Yup. Is it enough to kill the board, though? No, it's not enough to kill the board, which is actually perfect. I think that nerf went a long way, which is great. For me, in this case, at least. Yeah, if he attacks the Genestealer, that makes total sense. But, now what? What happens now? He hasn't used his defense card. He could have... Okay, never mind. Honestly speaking, I think I would have taken out the Zoanthrope instead if I were him, but... So, if I use Bloodthirst, unfortunately it's not enough to take him out, because this is going to be... Oh, wait! No, 12, 10, it is enough to take him out. I'm right. Am I? I hope I'm not messing up the math here. It should be exact lethal, right? Yep, there you go. It's the exact lethal. Nice, 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 nice. If we didn't have lethal, we'd just do Rapacious Hunger to clear. Would have also been good, but yeah. Okay, that's Dark Angel number 2 on our kill list, so that's good. Let's move on. We're fortunate that Asmodai didn't manage to get any of his shenanigans early. Ooh, okay, we got this bad boy, and we got Norn Emissary in our hand. Perfect. Let's switch up these. Not bad. Cacophonic Surge. Cacophonic Surge actually could be... This could be good, yeah. This could actually be good for us. Because it's gonna damage his flankers, potentially. And most of our units have high ranged attack that we're running here. Well, most. And Genestealers, for example, they can be invisible until the next turn they will have their attack anyway. Okay, so we're starting with a very good Norn Emissary opening. That is great. So our goal here is to get this guy out as soon as possible. Which means that I'm gonna be spamming as much as I can. Ooh, Palatine Blade.
Agony.
The Palatine Cock. Okay, and we have a Norn Emissary energy at energy 5, right? Okay, let's see what Lucius does about that. I really actually want to see how that rolls. Ooh, I hate when that happens, but what you gonna do? We gotta get rid of that fucker. That's like their #1 powerhouse. So we smack here. We first do this. Let me show you why. We drop this bad boy. We flank it. We do this. And then we do this. Just to make sure he doesn't use any shenanigans against our boy here. Oh, now he has to deal with a 7 HP, armor 1, 12 damage unit, and the flankers that he's gonna play are gonna have -1. So it becomes even harder for him to deal with. He cannot apply vulnerable to this because... oh, that's gotta hurt. So he had to take 7 damage. That was pretty good. So he's gonna be able to now take out my Norn, but I think that was absolutely worth it because if you look at his HP now, he's in a bad spot. And at the same time, I can play a Hive Crone. Just spit it on him. Oh, I think he would like that actually. So we ranged attack. And let's see what he does against this, because Emperor's Children are notoriously weak against flyers. So this could be a very good... ooh. Ooh. Okay, he's in trouble. He's in big trouble here. Yeah, no. That's not gonna work, brother. That's not gonna... Wait. 7 and 5. Yeah, you're done. I am afraid you are done, my brother. If not that, then we would take this out and play the Broodlord, so super. Yep. There's the Lucius. GG. That was a very powerful Norn play that we, I think, did there. That can really happen if you end up with a Norn Emissary opening hand. That is kind of why... why is my camera getting dark? Okay. That is exactly why you want to have the Norn in your opening hand and why it's so good on Neurothrope. I think we switch these two. Let's leave one Encircle just in case. So we're up against... I think this could be good. Not sure. We're up against Shadowsun. By the way, have you noticed that we are going first? In every single game we played. Oh, nice.
Of the Firecast's true strength.
So the Tau do have some answers for my Norn. But they will also find it quite difficult to deal with it. So again, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna keep buffing. First of all, because I want a very early Norn Emissary. Mostly you don't want to throw away your enhanced organisms, but I think when you got a Norn in your hand, I think it's kind of fine because value is just way too good that you're gonna be getting. And Shadowsun is slow herself anyway, so you know. Okay, next turn is the Norn. GG. We even got double stealth on that. That's so crazy. This is probably the moment she plays something. Yep. There's the Vanguard bad boy. Okay, so I believe... Oh, still not enough yet. I could play it, but it wouldn't be quite where I want it to be, would it? Should I risk? No, I should not. I just realized she could have the thing. The hard removal. Okay. So now I could play Apex Predator just to smash this. Do I just play Norn, make it invisible, and then use Spirit Leech to kill this? No, not that, but this. I think that's a possible move, right? Let's do that. Drop the Norn. Let's make it invisible. So my Norn is currently coming in a turn late. But despite that, next turn I can have Rapacious plus Encircle the Prey on it. So this could give me some insane board control. And Tau don't have any anti-stealth as far as I remember, so could be good. This could be a moment where he unloads basically and does the maximum damage. Maybe does Storm of Fire plus that's also quite nasty actually. Boom. Okay, that works, to be fair. So what we do is we do like this. Then we do this. I don't wanna, to be honest. Still thinking here. Make the Norn invisible. I don't have enough energy for everything that I want to do is the problem. So this is what I'm gonna do. Okay. I desperately wanted to keep that Norn alive, but I don't think it's gonna work. The battle suit over there was giving me too much trouble. It's gonna get hard removed, I think. Which is kind of okay, because I still do have my Crone. Ah, okay, I see what you're doing there. My face, okay. Not what I expected, I'll be honest. Okay. I just realized I did make a small mistake again on the placement. They should have gone on the right so that I could Apex Predator, but then again, it could also be here because of the Broodlord, so I'm not sure. Okay, another hard removal there, I guess. Ooh, okay. Kinda works. Kinda works. Alright. I think this is actually a perfect Broodlord moment. We drop the Brood. We play the Apex. And since we're gonna get a skull, nothing, because this is ephemeral, right? Ephemerals don't get cheaper. Still okay, I guess.
The hunt does not wait for the hunter.
Oh, that's nasty. That's a nasty move. So we got 7 damage, plus 3, that would be 10. Not enough. So I could play the guard. But if I play the guard, then I can't take this out with Rapacious unless I destroy my Broodlord. I think my Broodlord dies in any case, right? How about we do this instead? Yep, that should work. That should work quite fine. Because we got an 11 health Genestealer on the board. Still needs to kill the Broodlord with something. And we have double the HP. Okay, Crisis. Bodyguard. Ooh, takes the damage to the face. Okay. It could be catastrophic for him. Or not. We'll see. Oh, crap. Battle suits again. I hate it. Okay, never mind. This is GG. This is a GG. So, bash. And smash. Oof, that was a tough one. Swear, Tower always tricky to fight. I think they're quite underrated when it comes to their strength. They're always very, very tricky to fight. Never simple. I don't know why. Maybe because they have a lot of very interesting tools like flankers with blast, like long range, smarter lights. There's a lot of cool stuff, I guess. I think we replace everything. I think Planetary Invasion could be good here. Still go first. Alrighty. Planetary Invasion should just help me clear up the chaff. Okay, there's the sentry. There's the shock troop. There's another shock troop. See what I mean, right, guys? So very necessary there to start clearing whatever they're playing up, because otherwise it gets out of control very quickly. At 6 energy, we have a great answer, obviously, but till then, we gotta be very careful. Ursula usually has a devastating turn 1 and 2. Actually, no, devastating turn 1 if she just spams you. But then, it really depends on what her follow-up is gonna be, because if she doesn't follow up with anything, yeah, that's not too scary. That is actually not too scary. What do we got here? Tyrant Guard, sure. Let's shoot here, and I guess we do this. Not too bad. We gotta survive another turn, basically, the next one. And we're fine, because then we have Rapacious Hunger and Hive Crone and Broodlord, so a lot of good stuff is just coming. Ambush Predator isn't gonna be as good on... oh my god. Here it comes, the spammy. So what do we do about you now? I think we bash and heal up and pass. Now is the big turn, so I think what Ursula needs to do is she needs to like either start sacrificing those troops to deal some damage or do something smart. Well. Nah, that's not a good turn. Because we're gonna punish that hard. I think our opponent should have seen this coming. I think this was an obvious setup. I think what he should have done is he should have sacrificed the gunman as well as the robot there. He would have dealt 3 more damage. Well, not 3, 2 more damage because it already shot him passive. And I think it would have been better overall. Okay, so we got the Chimera here. There's a couple of things I'm thinking actually, because Chimera sure is gonna be good, but I can finish it off later, right? Not even... Or should I just finish it off right now? I don't think so. So we shoot the Chimera one more time. So that, I almost forgot. We have the planet... Not almost, I forgot. We have the planetary invasion. Even without planetary invasion, my plan was that he would have spammed the board, then I would ping the Chimera and clean with Rapacious Hunger, so... Summary okay, now he's losing the game. That was a terrible summary execution. Well, terrible because he had to use it, not because... I don't think he had any other choices there, so... I think this already is looking really bad for him. So we play the Broodlord, and, you know, we start doing things. Now he needs another summary execution. Ursula can afford it, unlike most other Warlords, because she can generate more summary executions, but I do not think... oh boy. It's not looking too good for him. That is not for me. Real question is, do I wanna do it? Do I wanna Rapacious here? You know what? I don't think I wanna Rapacious Hunger this. Instead, I'll show you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this. Right here. Smack this bad boy. Then do the healing. Gonna be double anyway. And also do the invisibility. So this guy now dies. I still have a strong board. and I still get my Rapacious Hunger. So this is my only Rapacious Hunger that's left, so I want to keep it. As you know, the guard tend to spam a lot, so you don't want to be throwing these things out like crazy. And I think using the Planetary Invasion was very smart here. If you guys are actually noticing, the offense cards that we have been using in most matchups, not all. For example, the one in Shadowsun I think was kind of not that useful. I think it's doing us a good favor. It's working, mostly it's working in our favor. Like, against Azrael it was good, here it's really good, so, you know. Alright, not bad, but I don't know what he was expecting that to do. Maybe deal one more damage and take out. It's possible. Commissar? Why though? Why the Commissar? It's kind of a terrible card. There we go. GG. GG! Against Lucius it was also very useful, so yeah, pretty good. Alright guys, so that was my demonstration of the Neurothrope. It actually went much better than I had expected. I think that he's a good Warlord, but I never thought that we could have gone with such good games. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. We had some games with Norns, we had some games without Norns, so I think it should give you a perspective of both things. And I also like that we went first in most cases, because Tyranids are actually stronger when they go second, as you guys know, because of their abhorrently powerful defense card. So now you actually witnessed all of these games as turn 1, which I think makes this even more interesting. So leave a comment and tell me what you think, what you would change, and what you want to see next. Ecclesiarch out.